background. This is our meeting room where we have meetings when people come to purchase the products.
They mainly the retailers when they come? They go,
Yes, yeah, that's exactly right. This is where the warehouse manager works, that's his office. My son's scooter. That's where all the warehousing and dispatch goes out from there. That's the kitchen. It's very small because we have too much stuff in our warehouse. So we do look at probably outgrowing this warehouse in the next 2 years and then to move somewhere a lot bigger. That's our wax that we bring in from America in the pallets.
But where do you get your other products, Michelle? How many students?
Packaging is always China. Now everything comes out of China. So packaging, glassware, all of that stuff, the cheapest place you can get it is from China. If you don't get it from China, you buy it from someone here who gets it from China. But when it comes to wax, we get a really expensive specialty wax that we bring in from America. And this is the shop, the front area, where you saw me standing before with the stylist.
So even though it's a wholesale component, it has a shop front as well where people can buy and purchase.
Yeah, so we do sell retail as well. This is all the bits and pieces from Parkway Markets that I'm still trying to get rid of. I think I'll give it away soon. So it's really important for all businesses to have a focus and a goal in mind. By 2012, I'd like to be in 300 stores or more, so I have a little bit of time. By February 2013, I'm going to be adding matching scented diffusers and refills to our already fragrance candles, so they'll be all matching, which is really exciting. So I'm working at the moment on the beautiful bottles and things for that. September 2013, we will be adding room sprays and perfumes to our range. And by Christmas 2013, my goal is to be in 700 stores Australia-wide. Now, this is just a little summary I've done of what I believe it takes to have a successful business. Anybody can do it. Have a clear vision and what your goal is. As I mentioned before, I think the key to creating success and not getting yourself into financial trouble is to have really low overheads. Let yourself take 5 years to get there. Because if you try to do it in a year, that's when you're taking a lot of big risks and a lot of money's going into it. So slow and steady wins the race. So low overheads will give you a much higher return. As I said, take small risks. If you want to try some product, buy a small amount of it and go out and sell it and see how it goes, rather than having this great idea in your mind which sounds amazing, but it isn't always the reality. So it's really important to take small risks. The key to my business and to why we're where we are today is because exceptional customer service. You walk into a shop and someone shows you respect and they actually care and they want to give you that great service and not just trying to sell you the product, they actually care about you. That's the key to success in business, because people feel that and they know when someone is actually caring about them. So exceptional customer service at all times is the key. Treat people how you would love to be treated, which doesn't always happen in customer service today. So it really does set you apart from the rest when you do give that customer service. And the most important thing you have to do is have passion and love what you're doing. If you have fun with it and you enjoy it, and it's just like you're playing, it's like you're having a great time, that is also what's going to keep you going. And last, know that you're a success. So you have to believe you're a success even when you're not there yet. Just know in your mind that you're successful and the rest will follow. So just believe in yourself and it will all show up for you if you just work hard and know that you're a success.
Thank you very much, Michelle. I'm sure the students have some questions because they do know a little bit about your business. There's some things they might be not so sure about, like things like what actually constitutes overheads, and you might, but I'll let them. Who's got some questions for Michelle? Yeah. You have any questions?
Michael's too quiet.
Alex, what did you say?
Okay, so does anybody know what overheads means? No? Okay. So overheads just simply means what you have to spend every week out of your own pocket to have your business going. So when I ran the business from home, if I didn't work all week, I had no bills. So there was no overheads. It was simply a matter of I would take my product, buy, sell it and make money. So it was as simple as that. So overheads is rent in a factory. So I'm renting a factory now, so I've got to pay rent every week. How much do your products cost you to buy? That is an expense, and that's an overhead. Wages, so if you've got staff, of course I started my business with no staff for at least the first year and a half, and I did it all myself, so I kept the overheads low. So overheads is basically anything you need to spend in order to have your business running. And that's what overheads are. So even now, I've got electricity, I've got the phones, I've got petrol. But the great thing is it's all a tax deduction. So everything you spend for your business is a tax deduction. So you can actually claim it against what your profit is, and so what you have to pay in tax. So there's a good side to overheads, and there's also you never want to spend too much overheads that you can't afford. So you want to build your business slowly so that you can actually afford what you're doing as you're doing it, as you're growing.
We've read a few times about small businesses or micro businesses, they go bankrupt in the first 12 months because they don't have that cash flow.
That's exactly right.
So were you really aware of that when you started?
Very, extremely aware. There's a company that is my, I guess you would say, biggest competitor. I don't like to use the word competitor in business. I think there's enough room for everybody. But my biggest competitor didn't have money when they started. So they got investors. They went around to people and said, would you invest in my business? So they got this person to invest, and they started growing the business. But let me tell you, it's a lot easier to spend someone else's money and it's not your own. I'm sure you will know that when you get money from your parents. It's a lot easier to spend their money than it is your own. So they've built their business by getting people to invest, and the more they've needed more money, the more they've had to get more money until they've got to a certain level where they're actually in a little bit of trouble now, because they owe all these people money. They've got so many people now are investors in the business who expect a return, and the pressure's very, very high. Me, on the other hand, I started at the same time, but I started building slow and slow. A little market here where I'd make 300. A little market here where I'd pull out 400 profit at the end of the day. Another little market here. I keep doing those little markets and keep saving my money and saving until eventually I get to a certain level where I've got the money to invest. I'm not borrowing it from a bank. It's all my own money, and I know what I'm doing at this stage. There's no risk. I know exactly my product, and I know it sells, and I know people love it. So that's really important. It's so easy to create an idea in your mind, and I've done it myself, where I thought, well, I'd love to open up my own shop. How beautiful it would be. I looked at a location, but the reality was a lot of shop owners are sitting there. No one's coming in. It's quiet. So it's easy to convince yourself of an idea, but the best thing you can do is, if you have an idea, find the way that you can do it with the lowest overhead, with the smallest risk. And it doesn't matter if it takes you 5 years, because in 5 years you'll be there. So it's all about creating low risk and just step by step and keep playing it really, really safe.
That's good, because they're creating business ideas now, and they're using you, obviously, as we spoke about, as a model. So this is great, because it gives the class a good idea about how they should do it.
Fantastic. Yes, Michael? I know your name.
How quickly everyone learns your name?
Why don't you want to spend money on advertising?
Because I don't feel I need to. Only because, look, actually no. At this stage I don't want to spend money on advertising because I've got X amount of funds, and for me I need to use those for what I know I need to. So my philosophy now is I don't want to spend money on advertising. But that's a really good question, because down the track I will. When I'm turning over a lot more and I'm in 500 stores, I do perceive doing some TV ads. I do perceive doing some radio ads. So, you know what? It is good to do advertising, But in the beginning stages, I didn't want to, throw money into things that perhaps weren't going to work for me. Perhaps I wasn't even ready for that at that point. Whereas I looked at it like I'll go down to a local market, spend $80 on a stand. On the old turnover, 600 at least. So I've already made my money back. And I've got to let those X amount of people smell my product, know my product and take it home. So for me, that was the best way to do it at that stage. But down the track, I'm sure I'll be doing advertising. Yes?
Have you ever lost profit? Okay.
It's a good question.
Otherwise?
Yes, a little bit, but not enough to hurt me. So yeah, I remember bringing in, when I was at Parkley Markets, a lot of people would come there for wedding things. So I started bringing in all the white pillars and the white square ones and the little square glasses and blah, all that sort of stuff. And then of course, once I left Parkley Markets, there was no one to sell it to. So things like that, little products that I've still got sitting in my warehouse, but I could lose that because it was only a little bit here and there. A couple of hundred here, a couple of hundred here, but where I was making money over here, it didn't hurt me. So that's why I say, never ever invest a lot of money into something unless you know 1000% that that product is loved and you know you can sell it.
Do you think you should keep the product range fairly small?
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
really focus on...
Absolutely. I've got friends who are very big wholesalers. They have thousands of product lines in their warehouse. And where one goes, well, that one failed, so it really equals the same thing. So they're always, you've got half of them that are really good sellers and half of them that aren't. So you'll be coming back to square one. So a lot of people get this idea they want to be the biggest and they want to be the best. But it's all an illusion. The truth of the matter is that if you just have that one product and you sell it well and you know where you're selling, and as long as you're always making money, you can always grow and just keep growing. So that's the secret. It's not about creating this illusion that you've got so much and it's the best. It's about doing what you do, even if it's that one product and doing it well, that's success.
I've got one more. When you talked about the publicity and with Sarah Jessica Parker, do you actually pay that PR company then? You just have a good relationship with them?
They actually buy them off me.
Oh, really?
It's amazing. Yeah. I mean, they offered. So they actually call me and buy the candles from me. I think they buy the candles off me quite a lot to use, but maybe when it's in a situation like that, they may have said, can we have a couple of extra for Sarah?
Right.
And I was like, yeah. But I'm still making my money back on the other ones that they're buying off me. So
yeah,
it's all
because that
stuff
publicity,
around
that free advertising, it's just like, such a good
Yes,
tool, isn't it?
absolutely.
And that's where your skills as, somebody that has that warmth and that great customer service for all your retailers as well would be also.
Yep, and that's what it's all about. It's all about customer service. It's about you coming, knowing your product, loving your product, being passionate about your product, and just having respect for people. Respect for yourself and respect for people so they can feel that. And they know that person is nice, they're caring, they love their product, and that'll sell itself. So a lot of the times too, you've got to believe in your product and have a great product, but you've also got to sell yourself. And that's really important. So you've got to first know that you're a success just by telling yourself, and then people will see that in you.
So we've done a fair bit on customer service, which is obviously that really reinforces to everybody how important it is.
Yep.
We also look at internal marketing, your internal customer service, and taking care of your employees and making sure they're happy so they're doing a good job. Do you have any particular tips in regards to that, how to motivate or how to reward staff?
Yeah. I'm probably what a lot of people say you shouldn't be. I'm very friendly with my staff. My staff are like my family.
Yep.
So for me, Lana, a young girl that came from me straight out of school, she's like family to me. So we just have a mutual respect for one another. So when I have to speak to her, it's never, I don't talk down to people, that's just not me. I don't think anybody has the right to talk down to people. So it's always just about mutual respect, friendship, honesty, and you know when you can trust someone. You just get that feeling you can trust someone. So for me, it's always just having respect for my employees, treating them the way that I'd like to be treated. And it works so well for me because I have to say, my staff will do anything. They'll drop anything when I need them. They're just as passionate as I am because I'm so passionate, they're so excited, they're so passionate. And the whole thing is just a lot of fun. I think the people that work with me love it, love what they do. And when I get excited, they get excited and vice versa.
Would you ever have like special days when you all go out to lunch, or you have like, where they're going to design a team building
Yep.
activity,
Yep.
a morale building, and so
Yep.
they're going to think of something, what you would do to sort of like show your staff you appreciate them, as well as building up their.
Absolutely. Well, I guess we get so busy through the year and they get busy in their lives, but definitely at Christmas time, you know, we'll have a little Christmas party. I'll always give them a lovely Christmas bonus and a present to say thank you. But it's just the little things, you know, it's the little things, the day-to-day things, you know, we'll all turn up, and I know Lana loves Diet Coke, so, you know, I'll grab her a Diet Coke while I'm out. Just like that. So just little things that, you know, that you can do for them that will make them feel that they're appreciated.
Yeah, that's good to know too. You don't have to spend a lot of money, but it's that appreciation that your staff feel, and knowing their little things that they like, and being able to, they might like cupcakes, so you bring them in a cupcake once a week or something like that too.
Exactly. So it's just caring, you know, just being yourself and caring. You know, people just feel that warmth. I think the times when you have those unhappy workplaces is where you've got those tyrant bosses who just think they're above everybody and have all this attitude, and people feel that, and they don't feel respected, and they don't feel validated, right? So it's just about not creating that, and having a space of joy and ease, and
yeah, definitely agree with that.
yeah.
Do you think, Miss, it would be a good idea to get a night to hear whether the students have decided on their product or for their project yet?
Yes.
Yeah, on the wiki, you can
Oh,
actually
it's
pick the
there?
wiki up. Yeah, if you go into the wiki, you might.
Yes.
Could any,
Yeah, but they can explain.
Yeah, that would be good.
maybe
if they
go
could explain.
around and maybe mention what your business is.
Yeah, they're actually doing. Now, Michelle, she owns business. She's not in a partnership, but because of the course they're doing, the subjects they're doing, one of it's working effectively with others. They're actually in partnerships. So there's so can we just start with the first one? Maybe Kathy could get up.